Okay, this is my old PlayStation. This was my new one. I just transferred my data from my old one to my new one. Now, I looked high and low online. I had massive, not massive. Well, it took me a while to figure out what the fuck was going on. I'm assuming you're in the same boat. That you updated both of them. I updated both of them. I followed all the instructions, and when you try to transfer them, the source loses, like it says, like the Ethernet cable's disconnected or the other PlayStation was turned off, and this one, I forgot what this one did. I think it stopped or something and said, "Oh, please tell the other one to send this data to me." So I found the solution, and now I already did it. I'm sorry. I didn't even know it would work if I did this, but I'm sorry. I apologize for the crappy camera. Actually. Shoot, you know what, I could use my capture card to do this, but, or maybe I can splice it in. Anyway, so, what you do is, there's one little blurb that you didn't do. Now, when you transfer the information from the source, if you read the instructions, it says, oh, you need to deactivate your user, and you need to deactivate. You have to go online. You have to sign in, and then go to your account management, and then I think it's like account, something like that, account details or some crap, account transaction or activation or whatever. And you gotta go in there. You gotta go in the game, and then deactivate, and then move, and then videos and deactivate. Well, if you have multiple users, you have to do them for each one of those too. And that's what did it for me. I had two other users. I had a European account and a Japanese account. I didn't really use them, but they were there just for, like, if there was a beta that you couldn't get in the America or the US version, you can go over there and get it. I believe the European one, I got that because I wanted to get, well, I'm going off on a tangent. That helped me. Also, if you accidentally put your, I accidentally put my, I said fuck the rules. I put the Ethernet cables inside while the PlayStations were turned on. What I did was I turned them on again. I took the Ethernet cables out. I turned them both off, and I put them in when they were off, and I turned them both on again. And maybe that helped. I don't know. But all I know is that as soon as I deactivated all users, everything started work. But there's a there's one thing too. Before you do the transfer, don't activate any accounts on the new one, because it's on your new PlayStation. Don't do it because you're it's gonna be formatted anyway, and it's gonna have all that information anyway. So when you get back onto this, when you're done, you can just activate it from there. If you here's what I think. If you act, and I think I'm screwed because of this. I activated that prior to the format. And your thing automatically formats. It'll tell you it formats when you start to do the transfer. Because my videos, evidently you can only have one account can only own one of your accounts can only own, like, one PlayStation can only own like a video, but two PlayStations can own games. If that makes sense, they can both own like the same. So like I got both on and have my accounts on both and still have play the same amount of games, but only one of them can play my videos that I own. I activated both, and then when I went to go reactivate, I could reactivate my games, my account for my games, but not my video. It said, oh, you have to deactivate your account on your videos on another account. So I went back to my old one, deactivated again. It said deactivation complete. I went back to this one. It still told me that I could deactivate. I was like, oh crap. So I think I'm screwed there, but whatever. I only had like one video. Another thing, don't freak out when the transfer is starting to begin. I forget the words, but it'll go beginning data transfer, and on the new one it'll say 0% and then counting, and it'll look like you're still in the same boat. It'll look like it's frozen. When you switch back to the other one, it'll say, oh, waiting data transfer, like as if nothing ever happened. I think it depends on the size of the source hard drive. It's trying to calculate all the data. The bigger the hard drive, the longer it's going to take for this one to calculate it. So this one's 120, this one's 250, and the 120 is almost full to the brim. And it took about like 30 minutes, I would say, at the most, to be able to start the transfer. The transfer in total probably took 3 to 4 hours. It actually took a really long time for me. So I left it on and I watched it. Nothing happened, and then when data transfer complete, everything moved over. Absolutely everything. Now trophies, you might want to sync them on the source before you do it. Don't worry, because when you go on the new one, you go to trophy, it says you don't have any trophies, and you're like, just go online and then sync them, and then it'll take a really, really, really long time for it to sync too. Well, actually, for me, it always takes a long time for it to sync for me, but it took extra long. But if you sync them, I have PlayStation Plus. I have it so where every night it syncs as trophies, so I didn't really worry about it. So, but yeah, if you don't, before you do, sync your trophies. But you probably already know that. While the thing was going on, I was looking at my random game collection. Like, this is so goddamn random. I love The Sims, though. That's why I got The Sims. Everything's in order chronologically how I bought them. I bought them in this order like that. Sometimes they're at the same time. If I buy them at the same time, usually it's the one I'm thinking of that I want more. I don't get the one I actually physically have. It's the one I want more. So I think these two I got at the same time, and these two I got at the same time. And yeah, I love The Sims. I hate sports games, but I got a sports game anyway, because why not? They were cheap. They're like this. I think they paid me to get this. And yeah, I don't care for fighting games, but a lot of my friends play them, so I get them. Last of Us is pretty good. Twisted Metal is a goddamn wreck. I mean, Jesus Christ. I uninstalled it mostly because of space reasons, but it doesn't keep. It's not good. I mean, I don't know why. Twisted Metal just I don't know why. It'd be like if they made a Street Fighter game and they took out, they kept Ryu, Chun-Li, and Ken, and took everyone else out, and then made them like interchangeable body parts that they're facsimile of like Guile and like Dhalsim and E Honda, and it's like you call him like H Edward or some Edward H or something like that. And then he's a fat guy, and he might be a sumo. That's what they did with this game. Like, you have all the same cars, but they're all different, and you could interchange them. And I see where they were going with it, but like I really like the single player, and I felt like it could translate well the multiplayer being the way it was instead of just this customization. Like they basically copied 4. It's almost like 4 except worse in that regard. I don't know why. I just, and then the race part where the whole race depends on how fast you are. So I'm like, well, why in the blue hell would you pick Sweet Tooth's car? I mean, what's the advantage of picking a heavy car? It's not like a MotorStorm gets away with it, If you picked a heavy car, there's different weight and shit, and you can smack other cars around. Mario Kart has the same thing, where if you're bigger, Mario Kart Double Dash, I hate Double Dash. The most rubber band game of all time. Rubber band racer game. I mean, even Double Dash has where if you're a heavy car, you have higher higher top speed, but your acceleration sucks and you can't really go anywhere on grass. But you can ram people. I mean, there's checks and balances. Fuck, screw that game. Star Ocean, I really wanted to play it, but I never got the chance to. Maybe I got Dragon. The problem is I got this and I got Dragon's Crown, and I'm like, well. Now Star Ocean I think is deeper, but Dragon's Crown, come on, it looks beautiful. Battlefield, this is the premium edition. I made a video about this. So I don't know. It's pretty nice. Gundam 2, I like it. It's okay. I don't know. Let's flip through it. The Sega, that's another one. Hey, I'll buy the Sega, and then I'll go around and buy Dragon Crown. And I know, they aren't exactly the same game, but I mean, I can only stomach so much of RPGs. I like playing them, but I only like focusing on one. And I'm not going to do this for much longer. I I'm gonna masturbate all over the camera with all my collection. Gran Turismo. I wanted to get a racing game, but this game is like, you know what's funny? Evidently you could buy used cars with this. I don't know if they're used cars like fictional cars or used cars like actual used cars. And that always intrigued me. Like I could buy used cars in the game and like update them. I don't know. Silent Hill. I want to make a video about this, but I don't know when. I started making videos on Metal Gear Solid. Here's the shit I was talking about earlier. Okay, so this one has Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. So I assume this only has 4. This one here has Solid. If you see, where is it? That's Peace Walker. Where is it? I guess that's Metal Gear Solid, right? That's. But I don't see on the menu. All I see is 2, 3, and Peace Walker. So I don't get it. I don't know where it is. Huh. I made a video about this and I canceled it because it wasn't all that funny. It's alright. It's an okay game. This one's pretty fun. And Fear 3. I made another video. I made a video about this and again I had problems. Like I forgot what happened. I think something didn't record or something, so I dropped it. I was, you know how many times this happens? Thankfully the videos aren't really all that funny. I think one was really funny, and then I screwed it up, and then I fell into a total tailspin. I just gave up. I was like, forget it. Well, that's some of my videos. I'm not gonna show all of them because this isn't. I got a binder. This binder sucks, by the way. I don't like this. I got this from Best Buy. I don't like this because well, while you can remove the little paddings, the flaps that come out. It feels flimsy. It does. It's in comparison to my other one feels like it could survive a nuclear war. It's much more. I like the cover is much more of a fake, like a fake leather. It feels leathery. There's no sideband like a side thingy because that's where I put my some of my Blu-rays and all that. But yeah, I migrated my Wii games and shit in here, and my Xbox, and then my lonely gap of where my PlayStation games used to be. Oh my god, my PlayStation games, where'd they go? I was running out of space, so if I could, I would have bought this again. This I got from Target, I believe. This one Best Buy. I think it holds more, but. Like I said, it's flimsy. It feels like it's going to fall apart any second. But, alright. That's it. That's it for me.